YouTube? So, gonna start doing a quick little series of quick, cheap yo-yo reviews. That's right, quick, cheap. Gonna try to keep all these videos at about 3 minutes, and randomly insert them in random days, just to kind of put out some reviews of yo-yos that are rather inexpensive that you could pick up at local places or order them or whatever, and just kind of talk about them a little bit. And you know, some of them might be classics, some of them might be modern, just inexpensive and easy to find, easy to pick up. First one we're gonna do in the quick cheap yo-yo reviews is the Duncan Pro Yo. Now, the Duncan Pro Yo is basically just the rebranded Duncan version of the Playmax Pro Yo 2, I believe. So, when I was a kid, I had a couple Playmax Pro Yo 2s, and they all pretty much played like this. It was basically in the 90s, they were sort of like the beginner yo-yo, and not the beginner, they were like the intermediate yo-yo. It was like, you know, you got like your Duncan Butterfly or your Duncan Imperial, and it was like, oh, well, if you want to spend $7 or $10 or whatever, you get a Pro Yo. And, you know, performed a little bit better, was a little better at looping. As you can see, it's got this cool modified Imperial shape for looping, which was sort of at the time in the 90s, kind of the pinnacle. Like looping tricks and stuff were sort of like, that's what was popular. And that's really what this was designed for. Now, Duncan bought Playmax back in the early 2000s, late 90s maybe, early 2000s, I don't know, a while ago. And they continued to make the Pro Yo. Well, this was the Pro Yo 2 at the time, the Playmax one. And just rebranded as Duncan. It's very similar. Couple pros, couple cons. Pros of this yo-yo: cheap, slim, easy to fit in your pocket, and performed well. You can screw it apart, and you know, if you get a knot or something, and when I'll actually take it apart, I'm gonna do a couple tricks. You can actually take it apart and replace the axle if you wear it out. So, more or less, it's meant to do this. Throw it and catch it. Throw it and catch it. Do some loops. Loops okay. As long as you don't suck at loops. And, you know, that's it. So, a couple of cons is, it's kind of a cheap plastic. It's kind of a hard, cheap, injection molded plastic. You can take it apart. It's not the Playmax ones particularly were notoriously fragile. This is the only Duncan one I've ever had, and it's just fine, but I don't play with it much. As you can see, screw apart. There's a little bolt in there. Axle's in there too. And then this is the axle, the little wooden axle that you can replace, that it spins on. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, particularly in the 90s. Like, you either had a transaxle like a Fireball, or you know, a fixed axle yo-yo. And the fixed axle yo-yos that were metal, people didn't like as much. It just didn't feel right. But this was kind of the best of both worlds, because you could unscrew it, you could replace the axle if you wore it out. But you know, it was still a wooden axle, so you still had that wooden axle response. So that was, you know, kind of the best of both worlds. Now, like I said, it's a little bit, it's kind of cheaply made, so if it hits the ground or anything, you're probably going to crack it and break it. I had 3 or 4 of the Pro Yo 2s, and none of them survived. It's kind of light, so, you know, maybe not the best for beginners, but if it's something that, you know, something you just want to carry around and fidget with and throw around, you know, Duncan Pro Yo. Awesome. Cool review. So, went about a minute over, but anyway, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about these type of little older quick yo-yo reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers to you. And we'll see you next time.